Hey, how's it going? So today I wanted to do a quick video and it's going to focus on the low or no content or self-publishing aspects of things, and this is sort of books, journals, diaries, that kind of thing. So what I found was, and this sometimes trips me up as well, is that whenever I go to upload a design I've made for the interior files, so the interior formatting, it kicks up a fuss, or I get the format wrong. So the reason that is because I get the bleed or no bleed wrong. um, and if you've done any self-publishing, you'll know what I mean. But if you haven't, don't worry. But basically, it's to do with Kindle Direct Publishing on KDP, where I self-publish. I go to create a paperback, and um, I've got a couple of examples here, so don't worry. So let's have a look at the first example. Um, so you fill out all the first page and the second page, you get your free ISBN, and you come down to print options, okay, selecting the different trim sizes, and over here, bleed setting. I sometimes trip myself up and I click the wrong one. So I'm going to show you two examples. This is the no bleed setting, 6:9, and on the next tab I've got the 6:9 bleed setting. Okay, so let's go through the no bleed, and I've created just a sample. I'll show you the sample interior very quickly. You upload your manuscript, and I just chose a random cover provided by KDP. So we'll launch the previewer for this one, and this is what comes up. Give it a second to load. It won't take too long. So remember, this is the no bleed example. Okay, we'll just take an example. So this is where all the contents are within this gray dashed line or dashed box area. Okay, so this is the no bleed example. All right, now let me show you the bleed example. So again, 6:9 bleed, and I'll show you the interior file that I created using Canva, random cover from KDP, and we shall have a look at what comes up. So give it a second, it'll load up very quickly. There we go. Let's click thumbnail view. So here we go. I'll just click on this. You'll see that the bleed basically goes all the way to the edge, okay, and it is outside, or the graphic goes outside the gray dashed dotted line. Okay, so that's the difference between no bleed, where everything is within this box, and the bleed, which goes beyond that box. Okay, so that's basically the difference. So your graphic will go all the way to the edge, all right, as opposed to this one where the graphic will stay within the guidelines, the gray dashed lines. So that's the result. Okay, let's take a look at the templates that I created. I'll show you this one first. Now this is the 6:9 with no bleed, okay, and I basically duplicated the pages, but essentially to make sure I'm within this box, I create little boxes, little rectangles, okay, and once I created those rectangles, I know exactly what is within that gray area. Okay, so that's how I get my contents to fit within the gray area, and this is no bleed. All right, and then once I'm done, I'll make sure I remove these so I can delete that. Click on that, delete that. Click on that, delete that. And click on that, delete that. So I know that's within the guidelines. Now, how do I know? If you click on one of these rectangles, and if you set it up correctly, as you move, you will see W 0.5 and H6. W is the width, so we know it's 0.5 inches. I've set up the rectangle to be, sorry, the template to be in inches. All right, so you can have a look. Home. Oh, sorry about that. Not home. You want file, and it says 6 by 9 inches. Okay, so this template is set up in inches, and you can adjust that so you can see the width will go 0.5 or whatever you want to adjust it to. And likewise, if you have the vertical one, you can make sure the width or the height of it is a bit smaller or longer according to the dimensions you have on the side. So this is the no bleed template. We'll just get rid of that last one. So everything within the gray area will appear on the page. And the bleed template, you want to make sure, number one, you set it up as 6.25 by 9.25 inches, because that is the required file size, and I'll cover that shortly. So 6.25 by 9.25. Although it's a 6 by 9, 6 inches by 9, you need to give it extra space on the sides so that when the printers cut the paper, they will make sure everything goes all the way to the side. Okay, so let's cover the dimensions per KDP guidelines. So I'll include a link to this below. So what you want to do is go to Paperback submission guidelines and scroll down. Feel free to have a read, but basically, you know, they even discuss bleed and no bleed, what you need for your cover. What we are interested today is the interior pages. So if you want a full bleed, you need to make sure, and it says here, if you want bleed, you need to extend them 0.125 inches, which is 3 millimeters, beyond the final trim size. So the trim size is the size of the book. So in our example, 6 by 9, you need to add 0.125 on all sides, okay, on all edges, so that you will you'll make sure the bleed covers, the images bleed to the edges of your pages. All right, so this is the guideline. Trim size, how many, you can have a read of this on page count, but that's not what we're interested in. Over here, this is what we're interested in, margins and alignment. And depending on your number of pages, okay, so 24 to 150, the inside gutter, so that is the inside page, and the outside margin, so these are for no bleed, okay, you need it to be 0.25 or 0.375. So if we go back to this example, you can see there's a difference between this side and this side, okay, and that is per the KDP requirements. There's a difference 0.375 and 0.25. I'm not sure if I explained it well, but once you start designing your interior covers, you can play around with the dimensions on the side, so you can adjust that to 0.375, 0.25. Make sure you get the right facing pages such that everything is within this boundary. Or you can do it the lazy person's way and make sure everything is 0.375. So instead of having it 0.25 and then 0.375, you can just go with the larger requirement, 0.375, and everything will definitely fit within the inside pages. Okay, or you can even build in a safety factor. You can go 0.5 inches, where there's even more margin. Okay, but that'll be up to you as to what you want to do with your interior pages and how you choose to design that. All right, now that's a slightly longer video, but less than 10 minutes. If you enjoyed the video, if you got some value out of it, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. And what's your preference? Let me know. Do you like to use bleed or no bleed with your self-published books? I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, click that bell icon, subscribe to the channel so you get notified every time a new video comes out. Now, until the next video, have a great day and stay safe, everyone.